Free
Palestine!
Okay, looks like we all woken up again. All right. Okay, firstly, I'd like to thank all of you for coming here tonight. Not tonight, today, sorry. Yeah, with solidarity with the Palestinians. And for far too long, the Israeli Zionist government have been able to dictate the narrative with the likes of BBC and CNN. With the power of social media, a new intifada has started. They can no longer lie to the world the way they have done for all these decades. And on my many travels to Palestine, I've witnessed myself, and the many of you who must have been there, the injustice, the humiliating checkpoints, the apartheid wall that runs through West Bank, the settlers that are allowed to carry Uzis as young as 13, machine guns. They're only 12, 13. They're allowed to carry these weapons. And as myself, we crossed across the West Bank and into to Khalil, to Hebron. There was a checkpoint. They thought I was one of the Palestinians. So it's the way they intimidate you, they kind of harass you, they ask for your ID. And I said, look, I'm from England. They checked my passport and the visa card that you have with you. And purposely they left me in the scorching heat for over an hour. So this is a person, imagine myself, who's just traveling to the country. Imagine on a daily basis, the children, the Palestinians have to go through this humiliation on a daily basis. And I have a message to the teachers in our country who tried to silence the children, saying the whole Palestinian-Israeli issue is complicated. Here's a lesson for them. On one side, the Israeli Zionist regime is carrying out ethnic cleansing, racism, land and property theft, and acts of genocide and terrorism and war crimes. And the Palestinians are the victims. Where is the complication or the confusion? This matter is free of complication and confusion. 63 children have been killed in this 11-day genocide, I call it. And I still remember, most of you who are probably older will remember Muhammad al-Durra, the 12-year-old boy whose father was shielding him behind a concrete wall, a concrete brick. 30th September 2000, and the whole world saw the French journalist when he managed to capture the footage where he was innocently killed. And we will not forget Rosanne Najjar, the volunteer 20-year-old nurse who was murdered in 2018 by the IDF sniper on the Gazan border. And there are countless other murders and genocide that the Israeli Zionist regime are complicit on. So what we want is sanctions imposed. Recently we saw where Belarus committed, the flight was diverted. Within 24 hours, Britain and the European Union imposed sanctions on Belarus. Why the hypocrisy? We want sanctions imposed on Israel as they continuously to violate international law. And Britain has a moral duty to sort this mess out, as they are the ones who created Israel with the Balfour Agreement. Their demands, the Palestinian demands are simple. The resistance want that the demands are simple, that they come back to international recognized borders of 1967, a right to return of all refugees, to end to return of all the refugees, and an end to the Gaza blockade, and East Jerusalem becomes the Palestinian for the capital of the Palestinians. History teaches us that all tyrannical regimes have fallen, and God willing, Palestinians will be liberated. Inshallah. History will also bear witness who was on the side of the oppressed or the oppressor. God bless you all. Free
Palestine!
Free
Palestine! 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 Palestine!
The next speaker His knowledge is I'll tell you what, right? His knowledge and achievements in law and in activism